American soccer is being weird as it always is. My
Always
name is
weird.
Robert Kerr. He's Jason Davis. And together, this
Yeah.
is Morning Kick Around. And one of the things that's a little peculiar about American soccer is there's always new teams being established, created, and ideated. And we've got another one. As some folks like to review badges, and I think we are along there. And
Yeah,
there's an
yeah.
interesting one, a
No,
new
look.
USL 2 team, kind of in your
We're
stomping
we're saying
grounds.
American soccer is not at all. I'll explain
No?
why.
Okay, fair enough.
The American soccer is weird. Although, and I was writing this for my newsletter, which I did not get up because I had travel issues. I don't know if you heard. I had travel issues. I get my newsletter up, but I started writing this. Like American soccer is weird, and we should lean into the weird was my premise. And then I sort of got into that semantic discussion of like, there's no right way to do soccer. I really believe that. There's no right way to do a soccer culture. You look around the world and it's different in every place. And I don't want to get into this thing of like, well, this is how you're supposed to do it. That's nonsense. There's no proper way to do soccer. It is whatever that culture develops is justifiable and legitimate, right? So if you say American soccer is weird, you're kind of saying, well, if it's weird, then we accept that there's a standard. And I don't know that I buy that. So I'm saying yes, but I'm also saying it with a little bit of a I'm kind of I'm kind of saying that I'm not sure, like a little bit of an objection to the idea of American soccer being weird. But we're also fans of just all this stuff that American soccer throws at us.
Before you throw up that badge,
Yes,
so the meat and potatoes of this segment is a brand new USL team in Lynchburg, Virginia.
that's right. USL League Two, by the way.
USL League Two, so a semi-pro team starting next summer in summer 2026. And I think let's introduce this. There was 6 different names, and then I will get to the original, the one that was selected. So Hills. So the Lynchburg, Virginia. Lynchburg, Virginia's club, another Michael Hitchcock creation.
Yeah,
We should
another hitch joint is what they say in the business.
So Lynchburg, Virginia, they were choosing from Lynchburg Adam, the Seven Hills Bootleggers, Hill City FC,
yeah,
the Lynchburg River Otters FC, Lynchburg Rivermen FC, or Seven Hills FC. And there's 6 badges and explainers to go along with it, with a variety of, I'd say, a fleshed out design. All of them pretty cool, but I think that they might have gone with the right one out of those 6.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to put on screen the Hill City brand that the winner, the one they ultimately went with. But I'm also going to, for purposes, because Rob is bringing this to the table, for purposes of showing you what was there. This is the page that has all of the options that they were considering. So there you see it: Lynchburg Adam, Seven Hills Bootleggers, which I really like Bootleggers as an idea.
Grab your jugs.
Yeah. There's Hill City. There's River Otters. That is a mean looking otter. It doesn't involve a soccer ball, because there was a long history of American soccer teams having badges where there was an animal with a soccer ball.
Like the otter, like
holding the ball. Why isn't the otter holding the ball? Rivermen and Seven Hills. Okay, I guess there are 7 hills in Richmond. That seems very Roman of them to have 7 hills, but there you go.
Lynchburg Adam, right out. The first one, I think that's the weakest one out of the 6.
Okay.
The Adam.
Okay. You're not on board with Adam.
No, because there's some good designs here.
Now, you can see in the bootlegger, I took it off the screen, but in the bootleggers one, you can see that that's the actual outline of Virginia in the upper part, in the bottle. Yes.
Oh, nice.
It says, yeah, that's so they were going with some references there. I'm sure you can't read the copy, but I'm sure it says like why each part. Now, again, they decided to go with Hill City ultimately. And this is it. This is the brand that they went with. Now, I'm not going to judge the people of Lynchburg for choosing this one. If this is what they voted for, it's their team, it's their identity. They can choose what they want to choose.
Yeah, 2 months and 1,500 votes, according to the Hill City website.
Those hills look like dinner rolls to me. They look like, I'm not sure exactly what they look like. I don't know what they look like seed pods or like something that is not. I mean, I don't quite get the hills thing from this, Rob? Do you see the hills? Do you like the hills?
It
Do you
kind of looks
feel
like
the
pocket
hills?
breads a little bit. They're tame hills. They are not.
They're not
They're
intense.
not mountains. They're not
No.
mean hill. Far tamer than that otter from that other design. But I really like the font. I like the colors. But as far as the hills, might be that pocket bread you get from a Middle Eastern restaurant.
Yeah. It is that pita bread. Is that what you're
Yeah, that's
saying?
the one.
Okay,
That's the one.
that's the
4 hours of sleep. 4 hours of sleep.
Rob can't remember words right now, so there's that. I don't mind the color scheme. I would like to see how this plays out via kits and that kind of thing. Like until I see that, I don't know. I think that dusk color is interesting. Is that what dusk is? It's almost like a purplish dark, like very dark purple, right? Is that what that is?
Yeah, sunsets can get purplish in the most extreme of times, but I wouldn't have been like purple dusk. I wouldn't have nailed it there, but I do like the
Are these
again words
are
hard.
they, look, hold on? Are these actual names? Did they named these colors,
I think
right?
so.
They're not. This is not like what everybody calls these colors. Like if you went down to Home Depot, you could probably find these colors in the paint section. Like, oh look, I'd like some dusk and some sunrise and some twilight. What's the alternative to twilight and the other brands? Like that kind of thing. To match your swatch or whatever. Is it swatch?
Oh yeah, swatch. That gives me
Swatch?
nightmares because that was the painting your new house when you move somewhere. That's the only time I've ever used the word swatch, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah. So Hill City again, not judging, not a Lynchburgian. Is that what they're called?
So it's a lot about the evening. So it's twilight, sunrise, and dusk. Very very sun related.
So again, okay, I'm going to read from the copy on the options here. So this says in a field of detailed badges, it helps to have a more simplistic choice. This traditionally shaped badge's clean lines, shapes, and arcs evoke both a modern and retro feel, marrying both the past and the future. And then there it talks about the word. So you have the Hill City, and then that eye connecting the way they describe this, because it's always got to be like this. The eye of the hill connects with the eye and city, linking the past with the future. How you feeling about that, Rob, as an explanation for what this is?
Well, you can't truly move into the future unless you respect your past. So I guess that's sound reasoning and logic with their explanation.
It's a little overwrought. Like all of these are a little overwrought.
I mean, the gentleman from the Eugene, Oregon team, he admitted, like, we just did it because that's the thing you do. You just got to explain it.
Yeah. So they went with Hill City. There was that Seven Hills look as well.
I like that the what do you call that's not a diamond, but the rotated square. I like that. That's different. Not too many of those in American soccer.
The diamond. Yeah, I guess it's a diamond, and because it's equilateral, maybe it's not quite a diamond. But I see what you're saying. Yeah, there's not a lot of those. That does feel a little bit more like real estate company to me than it does soccer team. I'll say that. I do. So the Riverman thing is interesting because obviously there's going to be a river there. I want to come back to Bootleggers because there you can see it, right?
That's
Seven Hills Bootleggers, not Lynchburg Bootleggers. Seven Hills Bootleggers. Is it wrong to pay homage to a past of making illicit alcohol, Rob?
It's probably in the gray area, but it's kind of instilled in Americana. I mean, there's a whole like racing league. America's most popular racing league is based off of the heritage of bootlegging.
And they
put Jack Daniels and other alcohol brands on cars driving fast.
Well, that's
so I don't
true.
think this is off color.
That's true.
That's the norm.
Yeah, like you're saying NASCAR comes from bootleggers running moonshine. Yeah, I understand.
And that's the premise, and people they're not shy from that.
Well, that's a thing. I actually I don't know. I don't pay enough attention to NASCAR anymore. But I know that they did celebrate that for a while. But I kind of thought they had moved on from that and were trying to not necessarily highlight the illegality of the origins of NASCAR racing in places like Virginia and North Carolina, where it truly did grow. But man, in terms of
Chad, I was going to say, if they still have Bud Light NASCARs, let us know. I haven't watched it in so long that I don't know if they still put the alcohol
that's
in the
secondary
cars.
to this conversation.
Fair.
Look, if you want me to give a rating to this, I think it's a 6
out of 10.
Yeah, I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's like, wow, what an incredible brand. I just don't. And I don't think it's bad. I think, and obviously, if people voted on it in Lynchburg, then they have a sense of liking it. Enough people liked it to make it the brand that they decided to go with. Well, and of course, it is worth talking about whether or not how important it is, and you know this from personal experience, how important it is to have good branding for a USL League Two team.
Yeah, you got to be memorable. You only really exist on the field for 3 out of the 12 months of the calendar year, so you got to have a look, especially at that level, that people will remember and hang on to, and people be able to see it, 3 months after a game happened and understand what that brand is. And for a little bit more context on the selection of Hill City, apparently, some in the press release, former city councilman in Lynchburg, Virginia, Randy Nelson, attended the launch party for this brand, and he started an amateur club back in 1977 called Hill City Soccer. And so he said it did well, and he's very happy to see it come full circle. So a little bit of historical context. Plus, they'll be playing in City Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So there is some context behind the Hill City. And obviously, you are more familiar with Lynchburg than I am. Are they surrounded by seven hills?
This is what I was going to tell you. So you were like, oh, this is in your neck of the woods. That is stretching the definition of neck of woods, because I live in Northern Virginia. I live just outside of DC. And while I try not to be this person, I was telling Rob, there's definitely a sense that Northern Virginia is a distinct place from the rest of Virginia. And you just don't get down. It's, again, if you know the shape of Virginia, it's kind of like a triangle. People don't get down to that corner unless you're going down to go to see Virginia Tech or Roanoke and Lynchburg are kind of down in that area, but it's not an area I am ultimately familiar with. Even though my grandmother, is from a corner of that area called Narrows, Virginia.
Are you saying people from the East look down their noses at places from other areas?
I guess I am saying that, Rob. It's not, and this is the thing. Lynchburg is not all the way down in the corner. It's not in the holler. You know what the holler?
Tell me.
The holler is like that area that's kind of like Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, all those mountainous areas where it's very much like it's Dolly Parton's kind of a place, right?
Yeah,
and you go out there, Dollywood is out there and all that stuff. Lynchburg is not quite all the way there, but it is in that general region with Roanoke and Blacksburg and those kind of things.
Kind of seems like you're trying to remove themselves, but I understand. It's like I'm from Metro Detroit. I am by no means a Youper, so I get you.
Okay.
Even though,
and that Upper Peninsula, completely different world than the rest of Michigan, I would imagine, especially the Detroit Metro, right? That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be elitist. I'm saying there are distinct parts of your state, and you may not. People that live in New York City and the environs of New York City, they're not always going all the way up north. They're not. They might be going out to Buffalo or to Finger Lakes and Syracuse and places like that, but they're not going. Anyway, that's all. Yeah.
All right, moving on from your Virginia expertise, Jason, and that should do it. So you gave a 6 out of 10.
Yes.
Because I like the colors and there's some the visuals are appealing to me. An easy one. I'll give it just slightly better. I'll give a 7.
Okay.
To Hill City's branding.
Okay, the Hill City gets a 7 from Rob. All right.
So I think that done for our badge review. Leave a comment if you disagree, agree, or give your rating in the comments. Brand new USL 2 team going in Lynchburg, Virginia, Hill City SC.